Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Rome Total War, where obviously something very important has happened. After countless Thrace puns, it is finally the end of Thrace. The final city, and Spurius the Ugly, our fan favourite Spurius the Ugly, is going to be the one that leads the final charge against the Thracian bastards. And we are taking on Guidries the Cold-Hearted. Okay, the faction leader, and indeed another family member as well. Don't underestimate that heavy cavalry. But other than that, the thing is, there's a lot of Falksmen here who are very, very vulnerable to just indirect fire. And he has got no indirect fire, aside from just basic Peltas and militia cavalry. No archers. We have got a massive archer and indirect fire advantage. That is how we are going to win this. And we've got reinforcements coming in. The reinforcements coming in are literally nothing but Peltas and archers. We'll probably just go and mop them up at the beginning of the fight then.
Last time I fought those men, we were unlucky. It is now time to take revenge for that defeat and teach them to fear us anew.
So Spurius the Ugly is apparently not just horrendously ugly, he's also a bit forgetful, because he seems to be under the impression he's lost a battle against Thrace. I'm almost certain he hasn't. So, where to begin this fight here? Right here should do just fine. Yes, this will be just fine. And look at this. The mighty Thracians who once sent aid to us as far afield as Athens, who had a huge empire of grand cities, now reduced to this. This crappy little barbarian place. Grim, muddy, rainy place. Little huts. Crappy straw-roofed huts. This is what the Thracians have been reduced to. And this works for me, because the fight happening in this tiny, tiny town means my archers in direct fire will have a huge advantage. It will be just beautiful. Now, let's just bring all of my troops up to the front here. The ballistas and the onagers and all of that. They'll be ready to just tear apart this town very, very quickly indeed. Then, of course, just bring up all of my archers behind, including, of course, my Roman archers. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, yes. Oh yes, just look at this. This will just be marvellous. Now it is true that this is a bit of a scruffy hodgepodge of an army, but the same thing has indeed been said of Spurius the Ugly's face, and it hasn't stopped him from bringing the Thracians here to the very verge of defeat. Now, their reinforcements are coming from that direction. I'm going to send my Sarmatians straight over there the moment the battle begins to go and take care of them, and yes indeed, there it goes. So we're just going to bring those guys up there, and I'll send my Equites as well to support incidentally. Guys, I want you both to start moving. Guys! Both start. Sarmatians. There you go. Not very good at following orders, are you, lads? Right, let's just quickly knock down these reinforced gates with ballistas on it. So let's just see how quickly reinforced gates of a crap little barbarian town do. You know, what they've done in defense is they've put up some scary, spooky faces on a banner. And I have brought Roman military siege equipment. So we'll see how... Oh, dear. The gates seem to be down. That is a shame, isn't it? Let's just make a couple of extra little breaches just in case I need those. And my cavalry heads over here to just slam into the Thracian reinforcements. Make sure they don't get involved in this fight. You guys, go for the Peltas. Go for the Peltas. There we are. Sarmatians are now charging into the Peltas. And you into the Peltas too. And now we just go for them, and that's it. The reinforcements have been taken care of, lovely. No reinforcements for you today, Thracian, so I really hope you weren't relying on them or anything. Oh, look, they actually made it inside the town before we cut them down. This is how you die, knowing you failed to help your country. You failed to help the last city, and down you go, you stupid Thracian bastard. Now, over to the city itself. What have they actually got in terms of indirect fire? Not much, I don't think. Those are just militia hoplites. Those are militia cavalry. Don't worry too much about them in that case. Oh, and thank you to people who pointed out, by the way, of course, the Thracian generals are not Hellenic-style generals. The Thracian culture is Hellenic, but the actual bodyguards they get given are, these are the barbarian-style bodyguards. So, yeah, just to further reinforce that, they're a lovely little mishmash of Hellenic and barbarian civilizations. Just a lovely, lovely touch from Rome Total War to do something like that with Thrace. And, ooh, hello. The militia hoplites appears to have decided it wants to come... I didn't even notice. They decided they wanted to come outside. They've changed their minds now, because my archer auxilia are just tearing them apart. Right, let's just bring our archers up a little bit here. No need to get too close to the walls, but this will do as a starting point. Guys, head forward, start murdering them. In come the onagers rocks. Oh, yes, and there goes down some members of the bodyguards. Lovely. In come the archers, incidentally. They should start firing momentarily. Well, the archer auxiliary are my main archers, are not actually quite in range. But there we are, in come... Oh, this just doesn't look good, does it? Rocks flying from above. Oh, Thrace. Thrace, you shouldn't have betrayed... Wait, they never actually betrayed me, did they? No, I betrayed them. Sorry, I forgot how that went for a second there. And in come the arrows and the boulders, driving them back from the walls. Get back onto your plaza, you bastards, but it won't do you any good. I'm going to slaughter you to the last man. Right, I think we've made our case pretty clearly here. We can move our troops a little bit further up yet. Right, archers, move forward, please, and begin attacking again. Oh, yes, and now my old Roman archers are also ready to get involved in this fight. And they will start tearing apart that cavalry. Lovely. In comes some reinforcements. They've decided they want to try and hold the gate. Nope, they've decided they don't. The problem with relying on folksmen as your key infantry is they are just not defensively strong enough to do the job. They are going to start melting immediately. Hell, even crappy barbarian mercenaries are doing a better job staying alive. And they're not doing a good job staying alive. Oh, the arrows, though. Oh, the arrows. Looks like their troops are on the move. Possibly they even want to try and retake the front door. I'm moving my archers up if they want to do that. Or if they want to try, they're welcome. And who is in range? At least a few people are going to be in range here. Yep, just the archer auxiliary. Oh, the extra range is just so bloody useful. And now we can shoot their phalanxes in the back. Tears them apart. Marvellous. And we get our first shot at the general's bodyguard here. There we are, not doing much damage yet, but we're just wearing down his hit points. And would you believe the weather is actually clearly improving at the minute? It has become a lovely sunny day and a sunny future in which the bastard Thracians will no longer exist. Marvellous. And indeed, over half of the Thracian force is dead and we haven't even stepped foot inside the town yet. I like that a lot. Speaking of which, it's time for our new Roman forces to actually move forward into the town, I would say. Let's actually go forward, see what we can do here. Yeah, my auxiliary troops together with my early legionary cohort. The auxiliaries, of course, spearmen, very good at taking on cavalry, which I do admittedly have a lot of to kill at the minute. Okay, in come our troops. Now, if they want to launch a counterattack, they will try and do it right now. Fire at will. You guys, fire at will. My early legionary cohorts are the first ones to arrive. My archers are behind and still have plenty of arrows. My archer auxiliary are out, but my basic archers will still have plenty of arrows for now. If they want to try and attack us here, I don't think it's going to go very well for them. Oh, yes, there we are. Just hit these guys and... oh, no. Didn't work out well. Like, you know what? Falkmen will do well against these basic lads. But let's just quickly get around the outside of them. Round the outside of them. Round the outside of you. Into the side of them. Just finish these guys off. And now it is just a straight up massacre. Actually, you know what? Leave those guys for now. You guys fall back into your positions. You get into the side of them. And once you get into the back of them, they should... I'm surprised they haven't broken already, quite frankly. These Falksmen are doing some good work to my auxiliary. They're spearmen. They're not supposed to be taking on Falksmen, really. But it will do. It will just wear them down. They're running out of infantry very, very quickly indeed. And these guys will be wiped out to the last man too. That was pretty much the last infantry counterattack these guys are going to be capable of fielding. Right, back to a defensive line over here if you'd be so kind. It's time to move my archers into the town. Right, archers are now coming in. I'm going to move my onagers right up to the front of the city as well. The reason for that is I'd like them to be able to just start taking pot shots at the general. Might be able to lure him forward into the auxiliary troops. Right, my archers are now in position and taking out the Illyrians who are just vaguely hanging around nearby looking to try and get some javelins in. Not going to work for them. My archers are now just going to tear those guys apart nice and easily. Right, onagers are now going to start firing on the general. When they're not in flame pot mode, they're actually more accurate than you'd expect them to be. So they should be able to hit this guy in the rear pretty nicely. In come the rocks. And... there we are. We definitely got a... well, we might have actually got the Falksmen down instead. But that's fine. If a single unit of Falksmen want to charge forward, that's 100% okay with me. The archers will tear them apart. They'll break before they actually do anything productive. Incidentally, trees are boulder-proof. If you hide behind trees, boulders can't get past those. Not sure that's necessarily realistic, but whatever. It seems almost kind of traditional in video games. In come the... oh, just wading through the corpses of your friends. And in a minute, in come the peeler. Yeah, that's right. Charge. Charge, why don't you? And it's not going to end well. Nope, they didn't quite make touch. They came so close to getting in touch, but not quite. And away they go. In comes another boulder, and another member of the General's bodyguard goes down. They're not responding, though. Interestingly, I'm not sure whether they do respond properly to boulders. To be honest, I'm not actually sure whether they do that. We may need to pull him forward with archers yet, which is a shame. I should have actually kept some archers in the auxilia in order to actually draw the actual general forward into my spearmen. Oh my goodness, what a lucky shot! We actually just nailed the enemy general! Oh, one of the generals went down. I think that was the faction leader. We actually just destroyed the faction leader with a flipping lucky boulder. Oh, there he is. That's the Thracian king. Dead. Killed from a boulder. Should have come down and attacked when you had the chance, you stupid bastard. Right, I'm sending in my equites just to go and chase down these remaining peltasts. And ideally, if I can, I'd like to use these equites to bait forward the general. I'm going to try and see if I can do that anyway. They are shaken, exhausted, and they break immediately. And now my horses should just be able to pretty much finish them off. Lovely. No, go after them. Go after them. I want you to finish them off, please. Right, Peltas wiped out. All Thracian troops wiped out now, with the exception of one damage unit of Falksmen that's trying to hold this area, and all of the General's bodyguards. Fine. Yeah, just charge into the Falksman. Go for it. Just charge into the Falksman. Get a couple of good kills. And now back off, back off, back off immediately, back off immediately. Everyone out, please. Yeah, you're shaken. I know. It's fine. Yeah, just get out of there. Just run for it. And indeed, the General's bodyguard, at least one of them, is trying to pursue because they're seeing light cavalry and they're seeing a soft target. And I just want them to go straight over the crest of the hill and see the Romans waiting for them below. And in a moment, my archers will start firing. And when they do, yeah, now I can just back off for good. Because now I know for a fact these archers are just going to pull these guys in. And now they're going to try and retreat, but they just won't be able to. Because every time they try and retreat, the archers are just going to keep pulling them forward. And, yep, in a second, we'll have our spearmen ready to go. Which unit are they going to attack first? Peeler ready to go as well. And, right, forward, forward, forward. Let's get the auxilia in, please. And into the side. And let's get another unit of auxilia in around the back here. So now we've got spearmen actually taking on the General's armored bodyguard. Oh, yeah, they're going down very, very fast indeed. Oh, actually, they want to do a charge too. They'll do a charge too. Fine. Blunt these guys' charge, please. Just straight up spearmen here. They want to go for... Oh, they're trying to go for the archers. Oh, I've left the archers exposed. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, lads. Oh, you did so well. These guys are going to be surrounded soon. Oh, archers, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise I was leaving you massively overexposed. Right, in go my spearmen to now surround the general, so he should break pretty quickly. I think this is the guy who's their leader's dead already. Where's the one remaining member of the royal family of Thrace? I can't see one on this side. Archers are taking a good amount of damage, but at this point the auxiliary have drawn the fire. I think they might have broken. They broken. Yep, those guys are broken. Is there a king there? Yep, that's him. That's the last member of the royal family. Stab him. Stab him. Get him. And down he goes. That's it. We could literally walk out to this battle right now and we'd still have won. Thrace would still be defeated. It would just become a rebel city. If we lose this battle now, Thrace is destroyed regardless. Doesn't matter. Right, guys. Get over here. Get over here and support your friends. And down the remaining bodyguards go. I think they're trying to flee. They're weirdly pressed against the fence. Doesn't look like they're trying to flee to me, but that's fine. In which case, guys, just stab them down with your big spears. In go my nice spearmen. And that's it. Thracian royal family has been destroyed. You guys should surrender. Surrender and join the Romans. But I don't think you're going to. Nope. Instead, I think we're going to have to fight this to the last flipping man, and I'm okay with that. The General's remaining bodyguards charge forward first, but they have charged right into spearmen. Not going to work out well for them. Dead, 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 dead. Don't pursue. Don't pursue. Form a nice line, please. I want you to form a nice line here. And they're just going to keep doing it over and over, aren't they? Alright, fine. Kill the remaining ones. And now, my final stage of plan here. These Falksmen, let's just lure them off the plaza by getting my Illyrians. Just toss some javelins at them. That will do a huge amount of damage anyway. They'll charge off. I'll just slam into the side of them with all my infantry. And as soon as that's happened, they will break, and that'll be much easier to take care of. And into the side of them you go, lads. In you go, in you go, in you go. They break immediately, and now we can just murder them down. Lovely. And no more tricks. Now it's just the legionary cohort, my new post-Marius troops. Go in. Take out the last Thracian. Who is this man? Oh, it's the banner holder. It's the guy on the end who holds the little banner up. He's actually got a special helmet and everything. It's time to go and take him out. He is holding up the banner for Thrace. He is literally the last Thracian. Here he is. We have found the last Thracian. I only wish I had war dogs with me so I could feed him to the dogs. But no. No, instead, we're just going to slowly walk up to him and execute him. And, yep, stab him in the stomach. Oh, he's standing and fighting. Bless him. Go on. Hit him again. Hit him again. Oh, he takes down a Roman. Go on. Finish him off, lads. And down he goes. And the banner of Thrace falls to the ground. And Thrace is defeated. They managed a decent 392 kills. I imagine many of those were actually their generals charging into the archers I left exposed. That was a bit of a shame. Bit of an error on my part there. And Spurius the Ugly has wiped out Thrace. No need to enslave or exterminate this population. They've suffered enough under the cruel yoke, probably, of the Thracians. Faction has been destroyed. Oh, Thrace. I'm sorry you drove me to this. Whatever it was you did that drove me to this, I can't remember. Possibly your cities just look tempting. I honestly don't know. Now, I'm not saying I've already got my next conquest in mind or anything, but wouldn't my empire be a lot more aesthetically pleasing if Dacia didn't actually exist? Still, let's not worry about that right now. Let's instead worry about everything else down here a little bit further to the south. Keep my new leaders coming up north here, including, Numerius Brutus. Could potentially be very, very useful. Let's get you over here into Batavium straight away. In fact, I want to pass over the most important people immediately. So, Priestess of Juno, important. Gnaeus Navius, yep, very, very important indeed. Get him off you. I think you've already got a philosopher and a battlefield surgeon. You don't have a philosopher yet, fine, but you might have someone more important. Turncoat, slave, physician. Have you got a physician? Physicians are really, really good. No, he doesn't, so I'll give him the physician first, because physicians are just flipping great. Yeah, children and casualties recovering. That's just marvellous. Get that out of the way, and then if we can, keep piling in people. No, at that point, his retinue is full. So I can actually verify the retinue cap is, in fact, yes, it's as I thought. It is indeed 8 people. So he now has 8 people in his retinue, and I cannot put anyone else in it. And he has already got pretty darn decent as a result of what we've just done there. Yeah, I'm very sorry, Periandros. You've served us long and not particularly well, but unfortunately, at the age of 55, you literally have 0 command, 0 management, and 0 influence, which isn't exactly great. I mean, even Cassius the Lewd has some management experience over in Apollonia, and to be honest, we should probably move him somewhere more productive, to be honest. Even if he's not great, Cassius the Lewd would probably do a better job over in Athens. Yeah, he probably would, actually. Let's move Cassius the Lewd over towards Athens, just because his management will be useful there. That immediately actually puts, interestingly... Okay, that actually puts Apollonia into negative growth. Fascinating. Fine, we'll fix that later. And you, Periandros, you can just go round to Salona and manage that for a bit. Honestly, I'll admit it is kind of you just being forcibly retired, but you know what, never mind. We've got some young, more impressive kids coming up here to manage the northern frontier. You know, I just had to look up north, and things are going very, very bad for the Germans. They've still got this territory up here, but they've lost this area to the Scythians, who have really expanded quite flipping far. They still hold... Okay, they still hold both of these settlements, and then this one over here, but their capital is now completely cut off from... I don't even know what this place is called. Oh, Home Sweet Home. Marvellous. Yeah, their capital is now completely cut off from Home Sweet Home up there. So, yeah, not looking so hot for the Germans, unfortunately. I think that's all we can do pretty much here this turn. But obviously, I suspect the big thing's going to happen between turns, because when you attack an enemy city, they really do respond. So I am expecting Julianus Vatinius to come under a lot of attack next time I press end turn, but hopefully that magnificent bastard can handle it. Romans bumming around. Yep, here we go. Ooh, only one army, and it's not the biggest one. Oh dear, I think you've made a terrible mistake here. I think you've made an absolutely catastrophically bad error. So, Egyptian family member is coming in with an army. It is... I'll be honest, it's a little bit on the scruffy and damage side. There's a lot of mercenaries in this army, and a lot of damage stuff. It's that flipping... It's the gold chevron experience peasants. They're still alive. We need to finish those guys off. They're starting to become an embarrassment. Right, he's coming in, but in terms of, like, actual phalanxes, what? 1 full strength, 1 damaged, pretty damaged, really damaged. There's not really a front line here. Right, how good are you, incidentally? Yeah, he picked up Watchful, because I tried to assassinate him, but as a result, yeah, he picked up Watchful, because he knew I tried to assassinate him. Nothing major there, but he's going to take a few knocks before he dies. Fine. Move over to... You are the... Yeah, you're the faction leader coming to back him up. You've got yourself a bit of a better army, at least insofar as well. Not much better. You've got some Pharaoh's Guards who are magnificently good quality. But other than that... Oh, and some Pharaoh's Bowmen. Really, really damn good. 15 missile attack. Amazing. But again, it's small. I think we can handle this, actually. Oh, Julianus Vatinius. Your first battle is going to be against the Egyptian Pharaoh himself. And you are going to utterly kick his ass. Also, apparently this guy's a great speaker, so we're totally going to let him do his entire pre-battle speech.
Men! We face adversity, a band of brothers dedicated to the warrior's code of strength and victory. But we will never know defeat while we stand together. This day we add another triumph to the history of our people. We will be honored as men. There stands the army of the Egyptian pharaoh, worthy foes to a man. If we win here today, we do far more than just defeat an army. If we win, we take a city from the enemy. We weaken them. We take their riches, their holy places, their lands, their women folk. But the winning, that is for you to do. Are you men enough for the task? We stand on the defensive today. Let them wear themselves out against our battle line. We outnumber them by a small margin. From such small beginnings are great victories crafted. We may be able to hide men in the woods nearby. With luck, that would be a surprise for our foes. They are strong in cavalry, and this will require inventive thought today, as we lack enough spearmen to counter them. This morning, an eagle circled the camp 3 times, then flew towards the rising sun. Such a portent can only mean a good day for us today. And before we start, just remember, they are more scared of us, true Romans to a man, than we are of them.
Oh, Julianus Vatinius, that's a good first speech for you. Marvellous. Right, start the deployment, and I'm liking the look of this here battlefield. Oh, yes. We've finally got a big steep hill. Julianus Vatinius, you have very, very well picked this battlefield, haven't you? Marvellous. There, over there, we have got the town. On this occasion, I think the game has actually selected the... Is that the... Yeah, that must be the town. The game has actually selected the correct assets here. It's actually put a little wooden wall around it. It's supposed to be a small little town. Possibly I think it's actually still like a town rather than a large town. Yeah, if I'm way up here, right up here, this will just be perfect. I mean, that's a really steep thing to... Oh, yeah. Oh, this is just spot on. They're going to be slaughtered as they come. Right, I'm going to put the slingers right on the front line here, nice and stretched thin, just to draw them in, because the slingers don't quite have the range of the archers. But the archers I'm going to put behind my men, because, oh, this is going to be ridiculous how much damage these archers do. Yeah, get all of the archers. Oh, I've got double silver chevron together with silver bows. Those guys are going to be ludicrously powerful. Now, in terms of guarding the flanks, I'm going to put the hoplites on this side, ready to guard myself against any chariots swinging in from this direction. That's absolutely fine, including some mysterious rocks. Guys, just... You know what? That's fine. You guard against the rock. That's A-okay. There we are. You're now happier about the rock. Lovely. And then the Triarii, the other spearmen, can go the other side. They're unlikely to be coming from this angle so much, because they're going to be coming from, obviously, from the town, from that direction. So these Triarii probably aren't going to do much, but I'd like to have them here just to protect against any cavalry that try and swing in. That'll be absolutely fine. Okay, then we've got ourselves the heavy cavalry here ready to thunder down the hill, and my light cavalry on this side, where they're more likely, I think, to be able to escape around the outside and slam into the rear, nice and fast moving. Let's begin the battle. This is going to be beautiful. So we've got, indeed, as I suspected, we've got a large number of chariots on this side. They're just going to slam into my flipping hoplites. The actual front line is tiny and insignificant. Oh my goodness, look at what they have to march against, and I have so many archers prepared. They have got nothing. Meanwhile, on this side, we've got, okay, 1 damage unit of chariots. That is just some Arab cavalry. Fine, the Triarii, I can easily handle all of that. And my archers are going to come into range beautifully early because the elevation is going to give them such a big range advantage. Over here, I think the larger force is actually in the reinforcements. So these guys are running in to join in with the battle. Looks like they're actually going to join up before they really advance because these guys are running and those guys are only walking. So it's going to be both armies together, but that's fine. I think Julianus Vatinius can easily handle both of these lads in one go. The only risk is if the chariots get involved and actually do some serious damage because there's going to be chariots on both flanks. But I think we should be able to handle this pretty easily, in fact. There he is, by the way, Julianus Vatinius, in his early 20s, already the faction leader, and about to win a ludicrously decisive victory against the Egyptians. The Senate will not believe it. They'll send messages back asking them to double-check whether the battle really went the way it's about to go. But it did, because Julianus Vatinius is truly the greatest Roman of all time. It does actually look, by the way, like they are splitting into 2 separate battle lines. The main army first, the reinforcements afterwards. So there is going to be kind of 2 waves, but they are going to arrive at very similar times. Now, it looks like my Cretan archers only come into range about here, just beyond these rocks. But generally, like, the game doesn't take into account the elevation bonuses, so we'll almost certainly start firing, like, more like down here, if I had to guess. Yep, here we go. They're already just down at the beginning of the rocks, and some of my archers have already started firing. In comes the first volley. Where's it? It's going over here. It's going over here. And, ooh, where were you going? You were going for these Nile spearmen. They have started running. They have started running, and in comes the attack. Oh, dear. Yeah, this is not going to go good. And the slingers are in range too. The slingers are in range. Oh, this is beautiful. Right. Pause the game. We need to pick our targets nice and carefully here. We need the main phalanxes under attack, really. So let's go for, yeah, Nubian Spearmen, Nubian Spearmen. Those Nile Spearmen are already really badly damaged. Could take out some chariots. Those chariots are probably pretty safe, to be honest. In fact, actually, yes. It'd almost certainly be safer to take out... Oh, you're chariot archers. Okay, fine. We'll go for you, and we'll go for... Is that more chariots in there? No, there's only 1 unit of chariots over there. Those are just the chariot archers. Fine. So in which case, you go for... Actually, I could just go for the flipping general. Could just go for the general. But no, it's almost certainly a good idea to start weakening the spearmen here. So you go for them. You go for them. And you don't need to bother going for these chariots because they will smash straight into my hoplites if they try and flank. Ah, but don't forget my Rhodian slingers, of course. They have to have their targets as well. And they are better suited to taking on... Oh, you could go for the flipping general. Oh, go on then. Go for the general. Get yourself a shot in at the general, why don't you? And now go for the general. In go the stones. Follow them. And the general is going to start taking some damage. Then I'm going to run up the hill. The problem is they can't really run that much. Because if they run too much, they can't have their phalanxes up. Now just pause for a second here. And I think the general decided he wants to start running forward. If he wants to get ahead of everyone else, that's fine. I'm going to bring these guys back. Where are the... Ah! We have got ourselves the chariots overexposing themselves. I'm going to pull my slingers back. They can start moving backwards, please. Thank you. And in a moment, all of the flipping peeler are going to start coming in. And when the peelers start coming in, that is going to be a lot of dead chariots, damn it. Oh, yes. In come the peeler. And these guys are just going to fall apart in seconds. Lovely. And my Cretan archers have still got a great shot going on here. They're already fleeing. These guys don't really know what they want to do next. Marvellous. Right, let's get ourselves... Hang on. Let's draw up the Rhodian slingers somewhere new where they can still be useful. Over here so they can go for the flanks. That works for me. Lovely. So you guys... Get over there as quick as you can. The Cretan archers are still just firing down as much as they want to. Lovely. Probably at this point we should try and just assassinate their general. Right, select all of the archers. What have we actually got over here? These guys are already badly damaged. This army, in fact, already has basically collapsed, hasn't it? Right, focus fire on the general. Focus all your firepower on the general now. I want that general dead because these guys are going to break before anything really happens at this point. So now, this general, who is facing the wrong way, is about to see an awful lot of arrows coming in his direction. Oh, watching a general melt that quickly. That's a thing of beauty. And now we can do what we plan to do all along. My fast-moving cavalry can just get around the outside here. These guys are going to break immediately into the side. Oh, the general's dead, and we're going to hit them at the same time. And that is just going to be a collapse. That is going to be an absolute total collapse of morale. Nothing's going to survive this. Those guys are going to break immediately. There's going to be some very light taps because one of them is going to get through into the Cretans, unfortunately. So the Cretans are going to take some very light taps indeed. But that's absolutely 100% fine. We're going to clear those guys out in seconds. Still, even while they're retreating, they're still technically inside my lines. They're very, very good at that sort of thing. But I would say, let's just get these guys out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, actually. The Cretan archers, I'm just going to tell them to actually stop firing, because I did tell them to fire the general, which means they will start moving forward to try and stay in range of him. So I'm just going to tell them to stop doing that and just fight whoever they want to fight instead. Can somebody just deal with this chariot, please, before it does more damage to my flipping guys? And then that's going to go down as well. Right. Battle line 1 dealt with very, very nicely indeed. Now my Cretans are probably just going to tear apart these poor little eastern guys. Oh dear, that's a shame. Impressively, the first battle line is trying to regroup. They are genuinely trying to regroup right now, and something is... What just damaged you? Is there still a flipping chariot in there? No, you definitely killed the chariot. I'm not sure what just damaged you. Oh, it'll be the Rhodians! Gosh darn Rhodian slingers, stop it, you bastards. Don't do that. Don't flipping do that. Goodness sake. Right, actually, you know what? You guys are probably safe to charge forward into this position. Get over there. Don't toss stones into the back of Cretans, please. We like Cretans. They're valuable. Right, in comes the next wave. And this here, this is the Pharaoh. This is the Pharaoh of Egypt himself has decided to commit himself to this fight. What is actually over here? We have got ourselves desert cavalry. One unit of heavy chariots over there, but they'll slam into the hoplites if they try and flank in. That's 100% fine. Then we've just got ourselves lots of Nubian spearmen. The Pharaoh himself, where is he? Where is the boss? I think he's the other side, isn't he? Yes, there he is. There's the Pharaoh. There's the bloody Pharaoh. And we've actually used up our Pila this time, so now it's going to be a little bit more on the difficult side. Everyone is already firing, apparently. I don't know what the... Who are you guys firing at, incidentally? And... You are throwing something down in that direction. They are just being hit by... Oh, I think you're tearing apart the Pharaoh's bowman. That's marvellously good news. Well done. You guys are probably going to be wanting to... Oh, retreat behind the hoplites. Those guys are going to melt the moment they touch the hoplites, so that's absolutely fine. Triarii up here can hopefully deal with Egyptian chariots, but they are a little bit on the heavy side. Right, let's just put one unit of archers on those guys. Everyone else, I wouldn't actually mind you focusing fire on the general. 83 strength over there. You get him down, I feel like we're in good shape. So, yeah, at least 2 of you focus fire there. The rest of you, these are Nubians. Those are Pharaoh's bowmen, but they're weak Pharaoh's bowmen. Just put one bit of fire on them. That should be fine. My slingers need to... You guys really need to retreat, by the way. Just get out of there. And the chariots have decided they don't want to charge into hoplites. Or maybe they do. Maybe they don't, maybe they do. I think they're about to anyway, quite frankly. I think they're coming in. They are coming in. They've picked a really, really bad point to engage. Oh, the chariots have picked an awful point to engage. In fact, they're already wavering. Go for it, go for it. Who are you? You're slingers. Go for it, guys. Finish them off. Finish them off. Just get back up here. Finish him off. Beautiful. The general's coming in. He's got himself ahead of the rest of his troops, and he's not doing well. Down to about half his strength already. That is not good for him. Right, he's just kind of made touch with the front of our infantry line. That's 100% fine. They will just slowly churn him down. Alright, there's one unit of light desert cavalry over here trying to flank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send one of my units of modern Roman heavy cavalry over just to take them out, because they'll just be able to chew through them pretty easily. There's some chariots there that I think we should just be able to take out pretty nicely. They're just being chewed up slowly by the Triarii, so they can handle those guys. The phalanxes have fallen behind, so that's not a problem at all. What instead I want to do is I just want to get one of my units of cavalry round the outside into the back of the Egyptian general, just to basically cut off his retreat. If we just get him around here, because all these guys are going to be way too slow to do much, so I'm just going to have my cavalry cut through my own phalanx, and then just loop around the side, kind of in this direction, and then into the rear of the Egyptian general. And then he's already broken. He's already broken. Run him down. Run him. And the Pharaoh is dead. We have killed the Egyptian Pharaoh. Marvelous. Well, I'd say that's going to be. Everyone else is not going to... Yep, everyone else doesn't even want to really get involved with our battle line at this point. Marvellous. Oh, this is looking beautiful. This is just gorgeous. Guys, in which case... Oh, you've already basically... My archers are pretty much out of arrows, to be honest. Oh, and some poor slingers are running away. Right, send some desert cavalry to relieve those guys. And you, just shoot those guys in the back. The Cretans are running out of arrows extremely quickly. But, guys, if you've got any arrows left, just focus them on the Pharaoh's guards over there. Meanwhile, I would say Julianus Vatinius can actually focus on chasing down these bastards. Yes, I'd say that's very, very fair indeed. Those archers are already fleeing. I'm guessing over there has just been a bit of a cakewalk. Send in the Arab cavalry. Send in the Arab cavalry. Send in literally everything. Prepare to just surround the Pharaoh's guards because that's all that's left. Over there, these Equites have, yep, we have won, but we are not happy just winning. No, 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 no. I want to flipping run these guys down to the last man, and Julianus Vatinius gets to get his hands a little bit dirty too. He doesn't leave this to his men. He gets involved, damn it. And indeed, as we suspected, Julianus Vatinius, with great cunning that he would come to be known for by future historians, drew himself up on this hillside and just slaughtered. I mean, just look. Look at my army. Fine, it's taken some light knocks, but seriously, we are basically in pretty much perfect condition. We went up against the best Egypt had to throw at us. We went up against the Pharaoh himself, and we slaughtered them. A few cowardly chariots and cavalry have made it back to the town, but at this point, oh, it should be pretty easy for us to just knock down the front door.
All Rome will be amazed at such a victory. The day is ours!
You are not kidding, narrator man, because they got about 100 kills between their two armies, and we got 2,000. We have destroyed them. Oh, Julianus Vatinius, you have lived up to your promise. And it looks like Damascus is going to... Yep, Damascus falls into our hands. Nice and easy. Oh, there's literally nothing here. You know what? We occupy it. Because Julianus Vatinius is merciful. He is mighty, but merciful. In we go. Damascus falls to us. And the Scythians, meanwhile, are sending a lot of spies into our territories. I'm a little bit concerned about how much we're being flipping spied on by the Scythians here. And what have we got? Senate mission assigned. Blockade Port Jerusalem. We don't need to blockade Jerusalem. I'm just going to walk down the street and take it, damn it. Gosh darn it, Senate. You are not ambitious enough. Julianus Vatinius is one step ahead of you. War declared. House of Judah on Egypt. Understandable. Nothing major there. Faction announcements. Family tragedy Hostia. No idea who that is, but she's dead now. Galerius Brutus. That is you over in Carthage, isn't it? Freeman Clark and the Master of Horse. That is, yeah. That is okay. You're still not doing great, but you're only 22. I mean... You're not Julianus Vatinius, but then who is? Ah, and very nicely over at Damascus, because we actually took Damascus, the Senate has given me a quinquereme over at my capital, which is, of course, Constantinople. The quinquereme, by the way, is, yeah, basically the upgraded version of the Trident, the next thing up, which I just hadn't really got around to building myself, mainly because it takes 2 turns to build rather than 1. It is very, very strong. It is not the best ship in the game. The best ships in the game can only be built by the Scipiones, because they have access to the Temple of Neptune. If you upgrade that really highly, you get some more advanced boats. But for everyone else, the quinquereme is as good as it gets. And for barbarians, it's better than the best that they get, because the barbarian boats, and large boats are kind of terrible. Yeah, we have got Scythian armies just kind of floating around. Only like a single unit of archers, but I don't like the fact that they are just... Ooh, uh-oh. Plague. There's plague, and they're sending spies into our cities. If one of those spies has plague and enters our cities, we get plague. Okay? This is a problem. Well, there is quite frankly no reason not to blockade Jerusalem, but sadly I can't quite get to it this turn, but I can get pretty close, so we will do that next time. That's 100% fine. Got a good quality fleet here. We've also got... Ah, yes, the war pigs. I remember the war pigs. And the Egyptians have not actually bothered building any new troops at Memphis. It's like they haven't seen this coming, which is unusual because you'd really think they would have seen this coming by now. Like, at this point, on 3 sides, we have actually got Brutii territory surrounding Jerusalem. No wonder they're starting to get a bit on the nervous side. And we do also have in Jerusalem a brand new faction leader. Oh, he's only 17. Oh, no. They've had to promote a kid over his ability by the looks of things. I mean, look at those stats. This guy is no Julianus Vatinius, alright? This guy is no child prodigy like Julianus Vatinius is. Speaking of which, Damascus, which we never got to see, is actually, interestingly, still a Greek town. Apparently, the Seleucids had this from the beginning of the game, and they never really had the opportunity to grow it into a large town. Whether that meant they were just constantly pumping kind of phalanxes out of it, or whether it was taken over and destroyed before it actually just got up to the right level, it is still very, very Greek, and it has got a shrine to Asclepius. Let me just actually double check whether that does actually correspond directly to Juno. Of course, it doesn't directly because that would be Hera. The game is happy because the effect is the same. I can actually upgrade that into a Temple of Juno when that place grows, so that's 100% fine. Now, let's move my spy down here into Jerusalem, my good quality spy, and we'll get a good look at their new faction leader. And oh no. Oh dear, weak-chinned. Weak-chinned. Probably, it's just because he can't stop shaking because he knows one day he's going to have to fight Julianus Vatinius. Speaking of which, Julianus Vatinius, how are you doing? Oh, let's also focus on the fact that, of course, he took Damascus without a shot being fired at Damascus. So Damascus, no repairs. We did nothing wrong to this town. And Damascus is so happy to have Julianus Vatinius there. They're right away happy to pay high taxes because they just love him so much. Now, what have we got here? Good command and natural need understanding of strategy, all the stuff we already know. He's just picked up political animal. This man is an aspiring politician. There was education in the art of politics that's only just begun. +1 influence, likely to get elected to senatorial office, 5% bonus for popularity with the Senate. Marvellous. That's a good trait, absolutely. Oh, and I've got another good job for Agis over in Tarsus, the guy who just laid watchtowers all over the mountain ranges. I mean, his job is basically just to lay watchtowers everywhere. We could do with some new watchtowers to keep an eye on the land around Palmyra, just to make sure the Armenians aren't coming in. So, good news, you're going in again to do that job you love doing. Marvellous. Meanwhile, back in Greece, Cassius the Lewd takes up his position in Athens. Very, very good indeed. He can put up the tax rate a bit as well. And the new army, the army that Julianus Vatinius will totally be leading, ought to just step into this boat. Why can't you step into this boat? There you go. Now you can. Off you go. Let's be on our way. Oh, this army. Julianus Vatinius, you are in for a pleasant surprise when that shows up. Thinking about it, by the way, Spurius the Ugly does actually have one more job to do up here in what used to once upon a time be Thrace, which is he needs to go around laying some watchtowers, because it would appear the Thracians and the Dacians before them were a bit lax on that. So we'll send you up there to put a watchtower up right here. Then we'll probably put another 2 over here, and then we'll bring him back down south. Instantly, any cavalry to pick up? No, some Illyrians. We'll send those home as well. How are you getting on, by the way? You're up to Vanquisher. You've become a bit flexible. Possibly from doing a bit too much murder. That's fine. He got married, by the way. He actually got married in the episode I released on Valentine's Day. How lovely is that? There he is, married to Placidia, and he's already got a son, age 1. Interestingly, actually, his wife is older than him. Not that common in the Roman tradition. Normally, wives would be younger than their husbands, potentially by quite a large margin. Yeah, just checking, that's pretty much true across the Empire, though. Interestingly, poor little Chickpea is still unmarried at age 29. Come on, Chickpea, you've got to get a move on here. Just about everyone else in the entire Empire is married. Well, apart from Julianus Vatinius, of course, but that's mainly because basically no one is actually worthy of him. No woman dares approach him because all of them think they are unworthy. And in all fairness, that is pretty much true. And Periandros sadly completes his journey to retirement here in Salona, where he can just, quietly run things over here. It's a decent town. It produces a good amount of money. It's got a decent population. That's all 100% fine. But more interestingly, Lentulus Brutus, our little mining expert, can take up residence in Sergestica and immediately turn it from making less money than it should into making more money than it should, thanks to his mining expertise. In fact, actually, thanks to his mining expertise, this place makes over 1,000 a turn in mining. Gorgeous. And he can get straight into an awesome Temple of Juno as well. Gorgeous indeed. Population of Batavium, by the way, is now over 33,000 and still rising. Base farming level 7% and indeed health at 3.5 going up to 4 when the Pantheon is done. Squalor is still there, but obviously we've got Squalor down out of the way a little bit thanks to the large amounts of sewers in the Temple of Juno that we could yet build more public baths and aqueducts and stuff. So, yeah, we can do a lot more yet. Also going to just say how much I love famous battles again, how they hang out for all time. So just a reminder, once upon a time, Aulus Brutus, the man who would become Aulus Victor and then Aulus Augustus and then died. tragically. But, as some people in the comments were pointing out, almost the moment he died, Julianus Vatinius rose to prominence, almost as if Aulus Augustus was reincarnated. His spirit came back to us in the form of Julianus Vatinius. I don't know, is that possible? It could well be possible. But those early days when Aulus Brutus, back before he was Aulus Victor or Aulus Augustus, the time that he beat the Gauls in order to actually take Batavium, which became our first huge city and soon to be our first pantheon. Oh, lovely. And that only leaves one thing logically we can do today. Of course, Memphis is in our grasp. Fortunately, our onagers can get straight over there today, so we can actually smash our way into Memphis too, burn it to the ground, and the moment we do, we will find that all of our formerly Egyptian cities are a lot happier with us, which will be marvellous. I'm also going to send Oppius Balbus on a bit of a round trip just to go laying some watchtowers around, because I'd like to know what's going on in the Empire a bit better. So he just goes here, here, and here, and just lays a bunch of watchtowers. There we are now. I've got much better visibility of what's going on in the world. Beautiful. Meanwhile, Marius Barbatus can just focus on the actual attack. Ooh. Okay. So, potentially, not quite as easy as I was expecting it to be. Right. Apparently the Egyptians have managed to magic up an army from somewhere here. Okay, possibly I should have built something more serious than flipping war pigs. Still, let's not worry too much here. Unfortunately, I don't have a spy, so I can't actually see this army particularly effectively, so I don't know how good it is. I can see it doesn't have a commander. It's 19 stack army. It's, well, at least definitely close to full strength because the banner's almost full up. I've only got 19 stack army too. This could be tricky. Meanwhile, the mercenaries that are available aren't exactly great, but I will just start buying them in order to send them back to Alexandria. Yeah, no space for pigs in this army, unfortunately. The pigs are going to help guard the city. The garrison of the city is now 2 units of Libyan mercenaries, some blokes with bows on camels, and some pigs. So, we'll get to see those guys later, but right now I just need all the strength I can muster because, yeah, this could be tricky. I'm going to move him up to the city, and we're going to use the fact that we can attack to see what's actually in this army here. So what's here is 2,000... Ooh. It is a very, very big number of basic crappy Nubian spearmen. The problem is, getting around those guys is going to be... Yeah, that's a lot of phalanxes. That's a really big amount of phalanxes. And in the city itself, we have got ourselves... Who are you? Unquenched... Ah, sadly, he's not angry enough to lose morale. Do I want to try and do this battle right now? Because if I try and do this battle right now, these guys are going to be marching in from the south. And then we're going to have to deal with these guys. But if I could just beat these guys in a fight with my troops as they come into the battlefield, then as a result, then I could just basically stroll into the city after I'm done. And I feel like, well... The numbers are just with me, but Manius Barbatus is not exactly the most natural and skilled commander here. Or, ladies and gentlemen, it would appear that we have a much tougher fight on the southern frontier than I was expecting. So, next time we're going to kick off with that fight. Can we take Memphis? Can we defeat the army of reinforcements that's coming in to try and relieve Memphis? Darn it, I should have moved faster. If I was faster, possibly I could have actually got to Alexandria and Memphis in the same turn if I'd just been prepared enough. But sadly I was not. We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to beat those guys as they actually come onto the battlefield. And if we can, then Memphis is ours for the taking. And with that, I believe, unless of course that army just got back from taking back Thebes, we'll have to go and check that fact, then potentially that might be the last huge city the Egyptians have. No more flipping Pharaoh's guards, no more flipping Pharaoh's archers. That will be very welcome indeed. So, that's to come soon, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd, and this has been Rome Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye. And our guys go in, and I think we completely missed. We totally missed. And a double charge. Oh, that's what we needed to be seeing. Nice. Give them something to think about while they're going home, Balthazar. Got my timing just about right there. Stupid gits.